1st, 2012, and this is Flashback Quiz, second 9 weeks, week 3. Number 1, P equals A plus B plus C. Solve for A. Okay, so we're going to solve for A. That's very, very important. Solve for A. Okay, and these are the literal equations that we've worked on all week for the last couple of weeks. Okay, you can do inverse operations, but the thing is that you want to isolate A and get it by itself. Okay, so solve this for A, and then we'll look at our answer choices and see which one's correct. You can use process of elimination on some of these and rule out some of the answers. Number 2, the following formulas for kinetic energy. Solve the formula for M. Okay, so we're solving for M. And here's the formula. E equals 1/2 M times V squared. Remember, we're solving for M. Okay, we're solving for M. So that's important right there. Remember that in order to get this fraction, okay, we want to move this fraction, that you got to use the reciprocal. Okay, you got to multiply by the reciprocal. So there's a clue there to get you going. Okay, but we want to solve for M. Number 3, N equals D plus H plus Z divided by 7. Okay, and the thing here is that we want to solve for H. Okay, solving for H right here. Okay, again, if you can get rid of this 7, it'll get you going. All right, and multiply by the reciprocal. Remember that. Okay, the opposite of division is multiplication, and that's why we're going to get rid of that. We're solving for H. All right. Number 4, A equals N times Z plus D. Solve for N. Okay, so we're solving for N once again. All right, solving for N. Okay, so again, this is one of the literal equations that we've been working on all week. We got to get N by itself on the equal sign. On one side of the equal sign by itself, we got to get Z. So solve for Z right there. Okay. Number 5, A times B plus C equals D. And they're wanting us to solve for B. Okay. So once again, we're isolating this variable right there. Excuse me. B. Okay. So we want to solve for B. All right. Number 6, out of 12 students who submitted science fair projects, 2 students received awards. Write a ratio of students who received awards to students who submitted projects. Okay, we're writing a ratio. Let's make sure that when we write our ratio, that it's in lowest terms. Make sure that you reduce it in lowest terms. Now, we're going to write a ratio of students who received awards, okay, to students who submitted projects, okay. And up here it tells you that out of 12 students who submitted science fair projects, okay. And then it tells you that 2 students received awards. Okay, so using this information, let's write a ratio and let's make sure that we write it, we reduce the fraction. Okay. Number 7. Ann and Janae bought a television for their dorm room that cost $250. Ann paid for 60% of the TV. How much did Ann pay? Okay. So Ann and Janae bought a television for their dorm room that cost $250. Ann paid for 60% of the TV. Okay. So she paid for 60% of the TV. What does of mean? Think about that. What does of mean? So we want to find out how much Ann paid. Okay. Will be $150, $190, $416.67, or $100. 60% of the TV. 60 is what percent of 250? 60 is what percent of 250? So again, you can use this doing several different things. Here's 60. Think about what is means. What percent? Okay. And then of 250. Okay. And so we can set that up with percent proportion, or we can calculate this, put it in our calculator. Okay. Number 9. James received a bonus that is 40% of his monthly salary. If his monthly salary is $2,800, how much money was his bonus? Okay, it says 40% of, okay, his monthly salary is this, okay? Remember what of means. So 40% of, and this is. And you can again use percent proportion. This is 40% of, okay? So we got, and this is right here. So is over of equals percent over 100. Is over of equals percent over 100. So you can use that and cross multiply and divide. You can set this up as an equation as well and just find 40% of $2,800, okay? Whichever one you're comfortable with, like we told you in class, whichever one you're comfortable using, let's make sure we do that one, okay? And then number 10, Miguel and his wife went out to dinner at a restaurant. The meal cost $42.42. There was a 6% sales tax added to the cost. What was the cost of the meal with tax included? And we did this yesterday, okay? And there's several steps, so make sure we show our work, okay? The meal cost $42.42, so that's important. That's the cost of the meal, all right? And then it goes to tell us that there was a 6% sales tax added, okay? But we got to find out this was added to the cost, okay? So what was the cost of the meal with tax included? So what we want to do is we want to find out the cost of the meal with tax included, okay? And a little hint to tell you that we got to find out 6% of this, which is the total cost, and then find out the total cost, okay? This was the original cost of the meal alone. Then we need to add 6%. So we need to find 6% of this, okay? Remember, we did this in class. So remember that when we're talking about money, okay, it's very, very important that you understand that when we're talking about money, we round to the nearest hundredths place, okay? And that's important for this problem here. So when we're talking about money, we round to the nearest hundredths place, okay? And that's the cents place. So There's a cue right there that will help you jog your memory. Okay, but this is something that we did in class yesterday. Okay, this concludes our flashback for this week, week 3, second 9 weeks. If you got any questions, please raise your hand. And I hope you all did well. Thank you.